What we wanted to do today is give you guys our presentation that we give to prospective clients. Because what we've done over the years is we've developed it to kind of tell our story of who we are, the type of company we are, and while we're pitching to sign up a new client. So today you get to pretend like you're a prospective client and you're considering whether or not you want to use North American Recovery as your collection agency. So put yourself in those shoes and we'll get started. So I have a question for you, and there's no wrong answer. And try and think back before you were involved in this industry. For some of us, I don't think we can remember that far back. But remember before you were a part of this industry. And if you thought of, okay, if I sent 10 accounts to a collection agency, how many of those accounts do you think the collection agencies should collect? 10? Yes, I love it when people say that. And I wish we could. Anybody have any other answers?
Half.
Half? About half of them? Okay, good answer. Any others?
2.
2? Ernst & Young, a big national accounting firm, did a survey several years ago of about 1,000 collection agencies across the country. They found that on average, collection agencies only collected 7% of the debts that were assigned to them. When I saw this article in the Collector magazine, the first thing I thought to myself is, that's pitiful. And the second one was, why do we do such a terrible job in this industry? Why can't collection agencies collect more money? Why don't they? So I set out on a mission to find out. I hired a consultant. He helped me interview a bunch of agencies. They didn't know he was working for me, and did a lot of research, and I think we found the reason why. And there's really 2 reasons, actually. I'm going to share one with you up front, and then I'm going to share another one with you at the end. But before I share this first reason with you, if you get a call from an unknown number on your cell phone, by raise of hands, who answers those calls? 2 of us? I knew it. What if that same number called you back the next day? Who would answer it then? And a funny side note, my wife never answers calls from unknown numbers. So when I'm with her, I just grab her phone and I say, "Hi, this is Dave. I'm Shelly's husband." I'll talk to it. I'll answer the phone. But she's like you guys. She just doesn't answer the phone. So what about if that same number called you back on the 3rd day in a row? Would you answer then? Maybe? Some? No? What about a 4th day? 5th? What would you do eventually? Block the number. You would block it. So even if they called you, you wouldn't even know because it would be blocked. That's one of the problems that we face nowadays. This is an example of a collection agency. This is a lawsuit that was filed against them because they called this consumer 132 times. The consumer didn't answer, the consumer did not pay their bill, and then they sued the collection agency. Here's another example of an agency that called a consumer, different agency, called a consumer 200 times. The consumer did not answer, did not pay, and then sued the agency. This one is the absolute worst of all. This is an example of a situation where a collection agency called a consumer 1,000 times over a 1-year period. So that means they called at 8 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., day after day after day for an entire year. The consumer did not answer the phone, did not pay their bill, and then they sued the collection agency. This is the #1 reason why my colleagues do such a pitiful job, I was going to say we because I'm in the industry, but we do a lot better than 7%, and I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But that's why collection agencies collect 7% of the debt. They call, they bang their head on the wall over and over again, expecting that they're going to get a result, and they don't. And now we do things differently. We actually do call every day for the first month. We only call 21 times, and if they're going to answer during that time, we set them up on whatever payment arrangement, whatever reasonable payment arrangement they want to make. What this has done for us is it's starting to develop a reputation that we are the nicest collection agency in the country. And I know that might be hard to believe, but I've got a couple of examples I want to play for you. So go ahead, Brighton, play the first one.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
I don't think that's the right call. But I like it. You did that on purpose, I know. Brian's got a great sense of humor.
I mean, as a collection agency, I've never dealt with anyone that has been as great as you guys have been. I mean, from understanding the situation that's going on, I've never had, an unpleasant conversation with any of your guys' reps in the year and a half or whatever that you guys have had this account. I've never had any complaints with you guys just, feeling harassed. I've never had any of that. Like, your guys' service is freaking phenomenal. Like, you guys still do collections and have customer service at the same time.
Who said it? Hello, this is Justin.
Hi, Justin. Mr. Schoen, correct?
Correct, yes.
Very good. Hey, I know you guys have metrics. I also know very well NAR from, the ability to make collections, and if people don't oblige, they end up in court. So I recognize the force that you guys are, okay? Great. The call that I just had from your representative was an excellent professional call. I never felt in any way diminished by his requests, and clearly he's doing his job. What he did is he provided options for resolution, which is clearly, for me, the important aspect of the call. I deal with call centers, been in them, and I know the challenges that you guys face. I've been facing myself daily.
I appreciate you giving me that feedback. That is always good to hear, and I'm glad, we're able to stay professional, and I'm glad you're able to, to feel that way, so thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, it's really a tough business. When I say that, I know that because I've done it, but never at the level that you guys do it, and no one really is nice to collectors on the phone and this kind of thing, but I'm not a debt skipper. I'm just a guy who knows the law, especially HIPAA and regulation and things of that nature. The point of the call to you is just to say he's doing his job and he's doing it right. That's the key.
Okay.
And thank you so much.
Well, that's a great kudos from Martin, and I appreciate that.
You bet, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, during the first 21 days when we're calling once a day, and the way our model works is the first time we'll call them at 8 o'clock in the morning. The next day we call at 10, the next day we call at noon, the next day we call at 2. So we vary the times that we call throughout the 21 days so that if they're not available at one time of the day, they can answer the call, at another time of the day. The people that are going to answer the 7% and pay their bill, we set them up on a payment plan, basically whatever they want, and it is resulting in, like I said, the feedback is great. You guys heard it yourself. Here's an example too that I wanted to show you. This is an emergency physician client of ours. These guys have sent us over 115,000 accounts during the years when they've been working with us. So well over 100,000 different accounts have come to us. A couple of years ago, we went to them and we said, hey, we want to give you guys something nice for Christmas. We want to send something to the doctors. And what they said was, your gift to us is the fact that our doctors never get complaints from our patients on how they are treated by your office. You guys do a fantastic job for us. That's on over 100,000 medical deaths that people had to go into the emergency room. It's not something they chose, it's not something they wanted. And the way we deal with people and the way we're nice to them and treat them with respect and dignity results in things like this happening. There's another one that Brighton doesn't have access to. This is a different emergency physician group that sent us about 58,000 accounts. And we were just visiting them a couple of months ago, and Dr. Dallin Jones, he works out of the Logan Regional Hospital, he said, we are so grateful that we never get any complaints from our patients in regards to our collection efforts. So we're doing a really good job of being nice, being professional, being respectful to the people who answer the phone. Now, since we know that only about 7% of people answer the phone, well, in here it was only 2, and the only reason I answer the phone is because what I do for a living. I probably would be like you guys, so thanks for being one of the people that answers the phones. There were only 2 of us, and there's probably 22 people in here, 23? So that's even less. So anyway, the people that do answer the phone, we set them up on payments. Now, what about people who don't answer the phone? What do we do then? I'll show you. Or Brighton will.
Hello. Hey, is Cody available?
This is his dad.
What are you trying to get a hold of in contact with it, or you know?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I should have introduced myself. That I told you why I'm calling. Trying to reach him regarding a new development on a personal business matter of his. I had mailed some information to him. It's saying that it's not an existing 4194 West.
Okay, that's still the same address. What they've done is they're kind of like out in the county, and the city is kind of scooting that way.
Oh.
So they're changing addresses out there, but yeah, that is a correct address.
Oh, so that is his address then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was hoping to reach him today. Well, unless you know where he's working, maybe I could reach him there.
To tell you the truth, I think he's at Liberty Safe, but I'm not sure.
Liberty Safe.
And I don't have that number.
If I can't get a hold of him, though, is it all right if I give you a call back? Maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
His dad gave him up.
Hello?
Hello, is this the Temlers?
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Colton. I was actually calling about a neighbor of yours, James, over at the 23596. You know
Yes.
James, right?
Right.
Oh, awesome. Well, I was trying to get a hold of him with 696. Do you by chance know if that's still the correct number to reach him?
Hold on. 6696.
6696, you said, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the number I was trying to get a hold of him. I also sent a letter out to him to the 23. He's still going to get that, right?
Yeah, it should, right.
Huh, okay. Well, do you by chance know maybe where he's working? Maybe I could try to get a hold of him there?
No, I don't. I think he is up in Interlaken by Boulder or something like that.
He is working?
Yes.
Okay. I will actually try to give him a call a little bit later, so thank you so much for your help.
Hello?
Hi, is this Dahlia
Last one.
Oh, you get a phone call, sorry.
Cannon? I'm calling about a neighbor of yours, Jeffrey.
Yes?
You know Jeffrey, right?
I did know Jeff.
Oh, great. I mailed him a letter to that 4177.
Yes?
And I didn't know if I had the correct address. I haven't heard back from him. Is that address correct?
That address is correct.
Do you know if he worked? Maybe that's why.
He does. He works construction.
He does. Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense. And you don't by chance have a phone number for them?
Do you want to know what? I don't.
No, because you just walk next door, huh?
I just walk next door.
I'll just keep.
So that's what our collectors do all day long. We talk to other people that will answer the phone, and we have developed such unique scripting, and there's tons of psychology behind this. I could spend hours explaining to you, but that we're able to, all day long, people will tell us, yeah, they still live there, that's their number, and they're working over here, and that's how we do it. And so what happens is, once we verify that information, we know they're there, so that they're going to be served, and we know they're working, we even know where they're working, we send it to our legal model, which is our friends from Olson Shaner, thank you, and then we collect it. We send out, and I don't know the numbers on your guys' side, but a lot of the times when we send stuff over to you, we probably don't hear from 70% of the people that we've sent to you. Maybe 30% do, but those 70% that we never hear from, you guys send your letter, they get served, they don't respond, we get the default, they don't respond, we send the garnishment, they don't respond, we get a check every 2 weeks for years, the account gets paid off, and we never ever talk to those people. So we collect from people that we don't talk to because we've developed techniques to verify what we need to know by talking to other people, neighbors, relatives, friends, and it results in some fantastic numbers for us, and I'm going to share those with you now. I have to name drop this one. We collect for Larry H. Miller Wholesale Parts, and the contact over there, his name is Casey, and he's been in the industry for about, oh boy, he's been working for them for almost 30 years now, and he was really skeptical when we did this pitch for him, and he's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I've been around for so long. You guys aren't going to be able to produce those kind of numbers. And it was really funny, too. When I was developing this presentation, I was working with a consultant that I hired, and he'd had some experience in ambulatory collections over the years. And when I showed him the numbers that we've been collecting on the ambulatory accounts that we have, he literally did not believe me. He thought I was lying to him because our numbers were so dramatically higher than anything he's ever seen that he thought it was literally impossible to do. But anyway, this is what Casey over at Larry H. Miller said. He said, wow, this is amazing. I'm speechless. I can't believe you were able to collect from that guy. It was this one account that we had. But on the initial accounts that he sent over to us, we'd already identified that we're going to collect 59% of those accounts for those guys by calling neighbors, friends, relatives, people that do answer the phone. Here's another example. we signed up a client just about a year and a half ago. It's called Foot and Ankle Clinics of Utah. The contact over there, his name's Nancy Jugger. She's been in the industry for 30 years, and she said, I've been in my position for 30 years, and North American Recovery is by far the best agency I have ever worked with. And her name and number is on here if anyone wants to call and get a referral from her. We're happy to do that. Here's another example of the kind of results we can get. Rocky Mountain Anesthesiology. Anesthesiology bills, when you go into the hospital and you have a surgery and sometimes you don't know that you've got an anesthesiology bill, it shows up a couple of months later. These guys have sent over 7,000 accounts to us for about 2.7 million, and we're collecting a 49% recovery rate for these guys. Utah Endodontics, they've been with us for about 10 years. They've sent about $500,000 to us, and we're at a 61% recovery rate for them. Provo College and Eaglegate College, we've been collecting for them for 14 years. They've sent about $3.1 million, and we've collected 57% of their accounts so far. Cypress Credit Union, anybody heard of Cypress Credit Union? We've been with them for over 12 years. They've sent about $2 million to us, and we're at a 42% recovery rate for those guys. Utah Community Credit Union, another credit union here in Utah. 16 years we've been with them. They've given us $7.5 million for over 10,000 accounts, and we're at a 45% recovery rate. Todd Kilmer, who's their collection manager, said, NAR does a fabulous job for us, and we couldn't be happier with their results and the additional revenue they collect for the credit union. Milford Memorial Hospital has been with us for 18 years, and Melody's a sweetheart over there. Melody Jones has said, you guys are wonderful. We will never use anyone else. We have a 37% recovery rate for Milford Hospital. Exodus Healthcare Network has sent us about 5,000 accounts for $1.2 million. These are smaller balance accounts, but we're at a 49% recovery rate for those guys. This is a new model that we're rolling out that's been really exciting for us. This is Madison Memorial Hospital up in Idaho. They've been using two collection agencies for years. One is Express Recovery, who's one of our local competitors, and the other one is an agency up in Idaho that I'm not familiar with, but they've been using those two agencies for several years. We came in and we said, look, you've got a good thing going, they're doing a great job for you. Don't change anything, but if they have any accounts they haven't been able to collect, either sent legal or have a payment arrangement on them, and it's been 18 months since you've assigned them to them, pull those back and send them over to us, and let's see what we can do on them. They're like, okay, we'll give it a shot. They pulled $4 million back, $2 million from each agency, sent that $4 million to us, and within the first 9 months of collecting those accounts, we've identified we're going to be able to collect a 34% recovery rate by pushing them through our legal model. And these are accounts that were already with one of these kind of agencies. And when we get the accounts, because they've been sitting there for a year and a half, we're still able to collect over 34% because of our unique model. That's an exciting model that we're happy to be rolling out. Here's another one. This small client, Country Hills Eye Center. They've been with us for 20 years, and we've got a 50% recovery rate for them. All of these are dental offices that have been with us 20 years or more, and every single one, we're at like a 52% recovery rate, 47% recovery rate, 67% recovery rate. America First Credit Union, anyone heard of them? They signed up with us a couple of years, yeah, right? They signed up with us a couple of years ago after us trying to get them for a long time. And on the first 10 million that they've assigned to us, we've identified we're going to collect 47% of their accounts. Mountain America Credit Union, they've been with us for 23 years, over 12 million assigned. We have a 39% recovery rate. And the last name drop is R.C. Willie Home Furnishings. They've actually been with us over 25 years. They've sent $9 million. We have a 35% recovery rate for those guys. It doesn't matter the industry. It doesn't matter the type of account. Here's an example of apartment accounts, 47% on 3.1 million. These are all healthcare or medical. These are medical offices, 4 million, 67%, 61%, 64%, 63%, 69%. Here are our emergency physician groups. The emergency physician groups numbers are actually worse than the 7%. Traditionally, they only see about a 4% recovery rate from their collection agencies. Here's a group of multiple different emergency physician groups that have assigned $57 million to us. We're at 33% for these groups, not 4% like everybody else. Our credit unions have sent us about $47 million. We're at a 33% average overall. We do things differently, and it gets phenomenally different results for our clients. I wanted to show you, so that's pretty much the presentation, but I want to show you the other thing that has caused agencies to have such pitiful results. When they go in to try and sign up a client, they don't take time to explain how they do things. They don't really effectively sell their service. And so what happens is it becomes a competition of who could give them the lowest rate. And when they do that, all they can do is put the accounts on a dialer and get a 7% rate. So what happens is, if a client sends $10 or $100,000 to an agency that's only going to collect 7%, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they collect 10%. On $100,000, they're only going to collect $10,000. So they keep a 30% commission, you know, and they keep $3,000. The client only gets $7,000. We do things differently. When we go legal, we charge a 50% recovery rate, but here's what it does. On that same $100,000, since we're going to collect 45% of that, we're going to keep half, we're going to send the client half, $22,000 instead of the $7,000 they get from the other agency, and so we're giving them 300% more, even though we're charging a higher commission rate. Once clients understand that, it makes total sense to them, and that's why we can get these kind of results for them. So, I need to find a better way to end this presentation. I'm like...
Sign here.
So if it sounds good to you, how about we sign you up today? So that's it. No. But that's our story. That's kind of how we sell to clients, and that's what we tell. And without you guys doing the jobs you guys do every single day, we couldn't tell them any of this. We couldn't get any of these results without, number one, the great partnership we've had with Olson Shane over the past 25 years. So thank you. Thanks you guys, all of you. And the great job our collectors do on the front end of identifying consumers. And that's the thing, we never ever try to collect from someone who doesn't have the ability to pay. If during our calls we find out the person doesn't work, or they're on, you know, assisted living or fixed income or something like that, we don't take legal action on those accounts because they can't pay. We only go after people who have the ability to pay but that are not paying. And that's why we have the results that we do. So anyway, that's our presentation. That's how we do things. And thank you guys for everything you do to allow us to be able to